Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a best card tier list featuring my boy Evan Tanaka. Part 1 on my channel, part 2 will be over on his channel later on today. Appreciate you for coming through, Evan. We do these about every month or every 3 weeks or so, getting y'all another one of these videos. How we doing, Evan?
I'm doing good, man. Excited to get into this ranking. A lot of good cards have dropped in my team with obviously the out of position drop. So a lot of new cards to rank, especially at point guards. I'm sure you guys want to see where we have those top tier guards.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I mean, without further ado, we might as well just hop into it. So we got about 45-ish cards on this list. So I'm going to do a little bit over 20 on my list, and then the rest of them will be over on Evan's channel, which obviously I'll leave a link to. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. We got Chris Bosh, first card on the list. Is he like A or B? Something like that? What do you think?
A's really high. I would say B.
I mean, there's a lot of, they've dropped some really good cards recently. Like, I mean, end game level cards that have been coming out over these past couple weeks. So, Chris Bosh, I mean, he's very good. I like his release. He's big, can play power forward. He's a super solid card. There are so many really good cards in this game right now, though, that I don't think you can put him higher than B.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the power forwards here. There's so many good power forwards dropping. So I feel like, yeah, I think B tier. I mean, B tier is not a bad guy. Like B tier on this type of list is actually really, really good. Like this is a top tier power forward. But
yes,
yeah, I think he's got to go B.
All right, LaMelo is same thing.
You think he's B? Yeah.
Where would you put him?
I was gonna put high B or low A.
I just don't think we can put him A anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, he's like the third best point guard in the game.
Really?
Lower, I guess. Like, yeah.
I think he's a little lower than that. I do think he's up there, but I mean, he's like 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah, we can. I was thinking like low A, but you can start him at B if you want.
We'll go A. That's cool.
I think A.
I'll work with A. I do think he's probably a slightly better card than Bosh. Bantam is Bantam S anymore? I don't think he is.
I don't think so because that Danny Ferry and the Purvis are both better.
And Bill Russell too.
Yeah. So
all right. A. I mean, he's not B. He's definitely A.
No. He's A. He's really good. He's still really good.
Yes, he is a top tier card. Can compete against any small forward in the game. I just think there's a couple guys who are slightly better than him. Scotty Barnes, is he B?
So now I would say he's on the same level, a tiny bit below LaMelo. Like I have LaMelo 3 and then Scotty Barnes 4. I think it's close enough that you should put them in the same tier. But if you wanted to go like really high B tier for Scotty and then like super low A tier for LaMelo, I think that's fair. But it's either like same tier, at least in my opinion. That's the way that I would do. I think they're on the same level.
That's kind of the way I look at it, though, is that like I think like Scotty might be the best card in B tier and LaMelo like the worst card in A tier. I feel like, or I don't know, because I think there's probably more than 3 point guards better than Scotty in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah, just my opinion. Like the next guy, Ben Simmons. I think he's slightly better than Scotty. I do. Still.
Okay, yeah. Then if you think Ben's better than Scotty, then yeah, I'd go Scotty B and then Ben A.
Right. I think that's what I'll do because I think Ben, despite not being a great shooter and not having an awesome release, is still the best slashing PG in the game and the best defensive point guard in the game. He is gigantic at 6'11". He's an incredible playmaker. He doesn't have the best SIGs in the world, but he doesn't really need them. He's like just a complete mismatch size-wise against most of these PGs, and he can still hit wide open. But he's incredibly fast, incredibly good dunker, all that stuff. I don't know. Do you agree? Where would you put him personally?
Personally, I would go Scotty A with LaMelo and then Ben B. And I'm talking the best card in B tier. I've never really been the biggest fan of Ben Simmons. Haven't used him like too much, so I can't like, give my full opinion on the card. But from what I've used from him and just seen in game, I still think he's a little bit of a liability on offense with his 65 3-ball in his release. But if you can green consistently with the card and you're fine with his lack of shooting and just a little bit baited on offense, then I think him and Scotty's a very close debate. Personally, I would take Scotty Barnes, but I think they're basically all the same in my opinion.
All right. Well, Bill Russell, I think he's S.
I was about to say that too. He's S.
He's a dog.
I just want this. People are sleeping on Bill Russell.
Yes, they are.
He's a top card in the game. Like we're probably gonna have like top 8, 9, top 10 cards in S tier, and Bill Russell is a top 10. I think even higher, top 6, 7. Like I think he's really on that level. Maybe not.
You can certainly make the argument he's the best. You can make the argument he's the best small forward, like for sure.
No, he is the best small forward.
Is he? I think it's close. I think he's 1 or 2.
I mean, it's close. It is really close, but I feel like he does more for you than a Purvis or a Danny Ferry. And I've used both cards. I haven't used Bill Russell, but from what I've seen from him in game and your gameplay, like I watch a bunch of people's gameplays on the card, or I think it was only yours. I'm not sure if Ty did. It was either Ty or DBJ, I think, did him. But yeah, I watched yours for sure, and he was hooping, man. Like he's a beast. He's so good, and he's the best defensive card in the game right now. Billy Knight's got to be A as well, I think. He can't be S anymore. I don't think. I mean, we may only have one shooting guard in S tier, by the way. But
I don't know.
No, honestly,
Because there's so many good small forwards, power forwards, and just bigs and cards that they've been dropping recently, as well as point guards. Like they've been dropping a lot of non-shooting guards that are like the best cards in the game. So I think we go A for Billy. AD is like C to me.
I would say same level as Bosch, but if you wanted to go C, I don't think it's crazy. I know a lot of people do like Bosch or AD.
I don't think he's quite as good as Bosch. His release isn't as good. He's a little bit smaller. I know he is a little bit. I think he's a little bit quicker, but I'm not even actually 100% sure that he's actually faster. I mean, the badges and stats are better, but they're not like insanely better. I mean, AD's really good, but his release isn't that great. I know his defensive badges are awesome. His defensive stats are really good, but it's not like Bosch is a shabby defender. And Bosch does have a bigger player build, which does help him out defensively. He's still got great defensive hoffs and really solid defensive stats. Like I think he's close to 80 on the defensive end, and I think he's definitely clears 80 offensively. So, yeah. LeBron, what do you think?
I think he's A.
What?
I think he's A.
I was going to put him C.
No, I think he's A.
Seriously?
I mean,
how?
Maybe B.
He's not a top 4 small forward in the game.
I don't think he's that much worse than Bantam. That's the thing. I'm looking at Bantam. So yeah, B. Okay, maybe A was gassing it. I think B because he's not that much. You think he's 2 tiers below?
I don't like his release.
Yeah, but is he 2 tiers below?
Debatable. I mean, I think he might be a worse player than Bosch, to be honest.
Okay, I mean, you can go C. I'd personally go B tier, though. A was gassing. I don't know why I said A. But yeah, because I was looking at Bantam. But yeah, I think B is where I would put.
I'll go with B. That's cool. I think that works. Vince, I like Vince a lot. I think he's still B. I really do.
I think he's still B. I know some people like Splash don't like his release now. They say it's too slow, but I think it's a capable jump shot. He's obviously a really good rim runner, plays solid defense. I like his jump shot personally. It might be a tad bit slow if you use T-Mac, but I mean, I wouldn't
say it's slow, and it's super easy to green. He's super fast. He moves really fast with the ball. Like he feels really, really fast. I like him a lot. Dino's got to be C, I feel like, as much as I like the card.
Yeah, I agree with C. He is a really good card, obviously, for a pink diamond, and amazing for his value. Like every card here is above 100,000. Like Scotty Barnes 100K as well. Dino's 25, 30,000. So for his price tag, he's really good. But yeah, I think he's got to be C.
He's one of the best budget cards in the game. I'm still starting at power forward, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, we have C tier cards that play on God squads. There are some guys who are going to be D tier that you can still use. Like that's how good the best cards in the game are right now. But Dino still has to be C, I think, and also Draymond. I think he's also got to be C. Is that crazy?
Yeah. No. I think Dre's C.
Yeah.
I think Dre's C.
His release just isn't that good.
Yeah, he's definitely the worst point guard on this list so far. I mean, he'll probably be one of the weaker point guards, but I don't think he's D tier. I think there are some cards that might be a little bit worse.
I would agree with that. I think D-Rob's got to go D. I think he has to.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, though, for his, position, a lot of people will still have D-Rob on their team because if you don't have Yao, if you don't have Kareem, if you don't have Kristaps, D-Rob, Taco, who are you playing at center?
Yeah, I mean, there aren't that many, mid-tier centers right now, and I think D-Rob's definitely one of those guys who can still hold it down very well, so I like him a lot.
He's the best center that's not over 400,000 MT. So
yeah, probably true actually. D-Rob, the other D-Rob I think is B next to Bosch, maybe A. He's not S. He's not S. He's not S.
No, he's not S. He's not S. He's not. But B? I'm sorry.
I mean,
what?
Is that crazy? They've dropped so many good power forwards recently.
I personally think so. He's still the third best power forward in the game. You think Kristaps is better than him?
I think Kristaps is better than him. I think Taco's better than him. I think Kareem is better than him.
I agree with the Taco Kareem. I have him number 3. I mean, he's the third best at his position.
KP's better.
Okay, but they gotta be on the same tier. You put
fine. A tier for D-Rob. That's fine. We're gonna have a lot of high tier cards in this list. Taco's S. I don't really think we need to discuss it that much. 7'6", the power forward position. He's the most overpowered card in the game. Okay. I don't care that he's slow. He's the most overpowered card in the game.
I need to ask a question.
What's up?
Is Taco Fall considered a center in game? Because I know he's a power forward, but is he not your center for most people unless you have Yao Ming?
Well, if you have him and Yao, it's just what in the
which
is what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, no, but okay, let's just say Yao's out of the question. And that means he's your center. You're not playing him at the 4 next to a Jokic or a Reem, or even like a Reem. Reem is your power forward, Taco's your center, right?
I mean, kind of, but he can play power forward, which means you can play him and Yao together, which means he's...
No, I'm saying it's super glitchy, but I'm saying in-game, for most people, except for people that
maybe,
have Yao Ming,
he's going to set most of your screens and be your main masher, sure. But I mean, the fact he can play power forward just opens up a whole world for the most AIDS possible lineups.
I'm asking the question, is he considered a center?
Well, his position says power forward, so no.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's fair. I just think in-game he's playing your center spot, where he's guarding the center, they're switching their center onto you. No one's gonna...
Most of the time that's probably true, that's fair.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I was asking that question.
He's still S tier though. There's no doubt. Danny Ferry is S tier as well. Of that, I am not. I think he's S tier. I think he's awesome. He moves really well. He's got the tray fade, one of the better releases in the game. He's an elite defender, has amazing dunk animations, and he's got a great player build. He's a top tier card. Him and Bill Russell are the two best small forwards in the game, in my opinion. I think he's incredible.
Yeah, it really depends how many cards we're putting in S. Do you want to do 10, 8, 9?
However many we're doing, he's up there in my opinion. I think he's like a top 7 or so card in the game.
He's definitely top like 12.
12?
I think he probably is top 10. What?
12?
No. I'm saying he's higher than I'm saying he's definitely top 12. Well, because that small forward, I personally think I like Purvis and Bill.
I don't.
It's a very close.
Well, Purvis, no. Bill, maybe.
Yeah, it's close. I think Purvis is the best small. I don't know. I think all the three guys are really close, but I'm thinking about like T-Mac. I guess there's still Yao to come, Kareem, Kristaps.
I think he might be as good as Kareem of a card. Because Kareem's release isn't that good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we'll keep him in S. We'll see. We'll see later in the tier list.
Rudy Gay's got to go C. He just has to. He's not as. He's good. He's got a good release and he's got a good player build, but he's not like the most elite inside.
I mean, you know what's crazy? I don't think it's crazy to say D. As good as of a card he is, I don't think it's crazy.
I think he's as good of a card as Draymond is.
So maybe they both go D.
They might. That might not be insane.
I think AD
I'm moving both of them down. I agree.
Yeah, I mean they're great cards. I mean I love Rudy Gay. Draymond's a really good defensive point guard. Like I just think Dino and AD are kind of on that next level.
And Giannis is C. I'll stand by it.
No, I agree.
His release is not good, and that is very important. He still steps in for corner threes. It's still pretty slow, easy to bait. I know he's an incredible defender and an incredible slasher, but he's not the dominant force in 2K that he generally is every single year. Like most years, a Dark Matter Giannis would be the best small forward in the game for months. In my opinion, he was never the best small forward in the game. So that's just my opinion. Gary Payton, C or D? What do you think? He's only 6'4". He's a great card, but he's only 6'4", and that's just so. That matters.
I love GP, but I think he's D. I don't know if he's better than Draymond. I think him and Draymond are the same.
Yeah, level. I agree. He's an awesome budget point guard, and he can hold it down better than any other short point guard in the game is going to do on the defensive end of the court. But like,
he's literally my starting point guard. Yeah. So that just goes.
I mean, that's the thing to remember. That every card we've ranked so far can literally play in your squad, and you can have success.
No, I just put a card in D that's on my starting lineup, so I'm not saying bad. Like,
he's a very good card. There's so many good cards in the game. He's got to go D. Grant Hill is B, in my opinion. I mean, you could almost say A. He is so good.
You know what? I was gonna say like high C or low B, but honestly, I'm with the.
Have you used him?
I have used him a couple times, but not much.
I think he's awesome. He's got a very fast catch and shoot release. He's 6'8". He's an elite slasher and a capable shot creator. He's capable enough. Yeah, I do wish he had better SIGs. We have so many guys with good SIGs at this point in the year, though. He doesn't have to be your primary or even secondary ball handler. And he gives you the size that like only a T-Mac really gives you at the shooting guard position outside of a couple out of position cards. But I like him a lot, man. I think he's really good. Like I put him high B. John Isaac.
A.
He's better than LeBron. He's A. I agree. I was going to say A. I think he's just like almost as good as Mike Bantam. Like they're both A tier.
I mean, for a specific team and role, he's a better small forward in most lineups, I think, than Mike Bantam. I think he's a better small forward for most people's lineups.
He's the perfect 3-and-D card. He is.
Yeah, we saw so many John Isaacs in 250 because he's the perfect 3-and-D card. He's 6'11", probably the second best defender behind Bill Russell, unless you're counting Taco because he's just like a glitch. But just like a defensive card, I think Bill Russell's number 1 and Isaac's number 2.
I would agree with that. Jimmer Fredette's got to go D. He's fun to use. He's got great SIGs. He's got a very fast release, but he's just so small.
Yeah, he was like the second to last card I put on the tier list. I just wanted to throw like a fun card. I needed a couple more names to like round off the tier list. So I just thought, I'll throw Jim in there. He's a new card. People probably like using him if they locked in for Kareem. He's a very fun card to use, but yeah, I think he's got to go.
I agree.
6'2".
Yeah, he's got a small player build. He's super fun, great, amazing release, great shooter, really good SIGs, but just not good enough to be higher than D. So just the way it is. With that being said, that is going to do it for part 1. Part 2, like I said, will be over on Evan's channel, releasing a little bit later in the day than my video will be releasing. And I hope y'all did enjoy this video. Again, make sure y'all go drop a sub to Evan, all that stuff, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe over here as well if you did enjoy the video. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.